You know, every single product you buy has this secret journey. And that journey, well, it has a hidden cost to our planet. We're talking about the boxes, the pallets, the shrink wrap, all of it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that cost and explore how we can actually start to manage it.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Your morning coffee. There are the beans, sure, but there's also the bag they come in and the cardboard box all those bags are shipped in. Every single step has a carbon footprint. So how on earth do you even begin to calculate that, let alone try to reduce it?
So where does this invisible cost really come from? For any company that's shipping a physical product, it's just a constant part of doing business. And it all starts with the very basic building blocks of getting something from point A to point B.
Okay, let's just break this down. Making the packaging itself, and then all the logistics of moving it around, these things rely on processes that burn fossil fuels. And as we know, that releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which is a huge driver of climate change. It's a fundamental and honestly an often overlooked part of our modern supply chain.
And here's the key. If you want to manage something, you have to measure it first. That's exactly where the product carbon footprint comes in. It's basically the total accounting of all the greenhouse gases for product's creation. This number is our baseline. It's what we have to know before we can even think about making it smaller.
Okay, so we've got a way to measure the problem. Fantastic. But how do we actually do something about it? Well, this is where technology is stepping in to make that invisible cost visible, and more importantly, something we can actually manage.
Meet Cape Pack. Now, the easiest way to think about this is like a super smart logistical puzzle solver. Its entire mission? To figure out how to fit the most product into the smallest possible space for shipping.
It helps you figure out everything, from the perfect size for your product to how you should arrange cases on a pallet to be most efficient. But here's the real game changer, and the reason we're talking about it today. Cape Pack can now instantly calculate the carbon footprint of all your design choices.
And just so you know, this isn't some back-of-the-napkin calculation. Nope. This feature is powered by some really deep data from CarbonQuota, a company that specializes in precisely measuring the environmental impact of packaging and print. So that partnership brings a whole layer of scientific credibility to the numbers you're seeing.
So how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood for a minute and see what's being measured and how it's all calculated. This is where things get really interesting.
First things first, we gotta speak the right language. The standard unit here is CO2e, or carbon dioxide equivalent. You see, there are a bunch of different greenhouse gases. CO2e cleverly just converts them all into one simple universal number, which makes it way easier to compare different scenarios.
Now, a really key feature here is that you get to choose the scope of your measurement. Cradle to Factory Gate looks at everything up to the point the packaging is actually made, but Cradle to Client Gate goes that extra step and includes the environmental cost of shipping it all the way to the customer. It's also really important to understand what's in and what's out of this calculation. What you're seeing here is that Cape Pack's calculation focuses on what it can actually control, the secondary packaging, so the box itself, and the tertiary stuff, like the pallet and the shrink wrap. What it does not include is the actual product inside the box or what happens to that box at the end of its life.
And this chart, this reveals the single most important factor in all of this. Check it out. Around 70% of a package's carbon footprint comes from the substrate, the cardboard, the plastic, whatever material it's made from. That means the biggest lever you can possibly pull for sustainability is your choice of material.
Okay, so knowing your number is great, but the real power comes from using that data to make better, smarter, and of course, greener decisions across your entire supply chain.
This is the natural next question, isn't it? As soon as you get a number, you want to know, is that good? Is that bad? But, that might actually be the wrong way to think about it.
And the key insight here is that the goal isn't to get some kind of passing grade. The real goal is empowerment. By showing you the carbon footprints for different options side by side, the tool lets you see the trade-offs and make an informed choice to reduce your impact. It's all about progress, not perfection.
So how do you actually do it? Well, it boils down to 3 really actionable steps. First, you analyze different materials to see which one has the lowest impact. Second, you optimize how you stack boxes on a pallet. And third, you use that optimization to maximize every single truckload, which means fewer trucks on the road. Simple changes, right? But they can have a massive impact. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one really powerful idea. You get to see the future. You can literally see the environmental consequences of a design decision before you've spent a single dollar on manufacturing. This allows sustainability to be a proactive choice, not just an afterthought.
And that leaves us with the final, pretty provocative thought. What if this just becomes the standard? What if every single person designing a product, or a box, or a shipment could instantly see the environmental impact of their choices? It could fundamentally change how we create and move things around the world. And that's a future worth designing.